Documentation is an important part of making these products successful. For every product, you need to maintain key information about it. Now, you don't have to be crazy about this. I use Evernote to capture this data. You could have Excel sheets or any other thing that you want, but there are some key items that you want to maintain. First, and we've talked about this already with our general COTS and custom parts, is we want to keep track of every single item which goes into a device. In this case, I also have the costs next to them. So I know that for a slider joystick, I need a QT Py SAM-D21, I need the joystick, a breakout board, screws, hot glue, super glue, wire, washers, rubber pads. Every product you produce, you should have exactly what you need to purchase listed. The other part is the printed items. So I document the name of the STL file, how long it takes, and the cost of the print. Again, earlier I had determined that I charge 10 cents per minute for 3D printing. With the issues we've had with supply chains, it's also very important to know the source and the lead time for certain components. Are things available? How long does it take to get them? For example, the QT Py microcontrollers are a relatively common part, available from several vendors, and I know that I could buy hundreds at a time if I needed to. Some of the slider joystick parts in the breakout boards, well, this I can only get from one vendor. So I have to be careful and make sure that I have enough on hand. So make sure that you have a source for your components and the lead time. Now, for general documentation on these electronics projects, I'd also add in a cut list. So what you have is, okay, I need one 10 centimeter wire cut to red, one to black, one to blue, one to yellow. So have the wire color, the type of wire, if it's a silicone or if it's a regular hookup wire. These are regular hookup wires. And the length. So that way it's repeatable, and you could say, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make 10 joysticks, so I need to do this times 10. Also include a high-level soldering guide. So in this case, there are components that are soldered to the joystick and soldered to the microcontroller. This is the mapping between the colors of the wires and the different pins on the controllers. And fasteners. So any fasteners you use, I put the kind of fastener, whether it's where it goes on there, and any additional things like nylon washers or rubber pads. I also create often a order of operations at a high level. And this is important, and this documentation is important when you need to train a new employee. So this could be steps like step 1, print enclosures. Step 2, mark them. Step 3, cut a bunch of wires. Step 4, strip and tin the wires, and so on and so forth. So it does two things. One, it helps you to take a look at the issues in the manufacturing process and see if you can have economies of scale or improve processes. But it also is great documentation for new employees. And quite frankly, if you put aside a project for a while and you need to come back to it, you have that information available. So keep this sort of key information for each of your projects and products. Your COTS, your printed, your cut lists, your soldering lists and fasteners and whatnot. Now, obviously, if you aren't doing electronics, you aren't going to have wires and whatnot, but you're always going to have some sort of component or process that you want to document. And document to the level that you feel comfortable with. It doesn't have to be a novel. It could be straight bullet points that help you jog your memory.